Good evening, visitors. Welcome to the Australian War Memorial's last post ceremony. My name is Troy Clayton, and joining us today from the Royal Australian Navy is Rear Admiral Tony Dalton. We welcome the veterans who have served, those that are still serving, and the families that support them. We also acknowledge the members of the RSL and Services Club Association, RSL Victoria and RSL Queensland who are watching the ceremony broadcast around Australia. During this evening's ceremony, wreaths will be laid at the base of the Pool of Reflection by visitors as well as students on behalf of the following schools: St Margaret's School and Berwick Grammar School from Victoria. Please stand and join in singing the National Anthem. Thank you. If able, you may be seated. The Australian War Memorial was the vision of Charles Bean, Australia's First World War official historian. Bean landed with the Australian troops on Gallipoli and stayed with them at the front through to the end of the war. The idea of this national memorial and museum came to him at Pozières, France, in the depths of the bloody fighting of 1916. Bean's idea was that this would be a place where families and friends could mourn their loved ones buried in faraway places. It would also be a place that could help all Australians understand what these men and women had endured and what they had done for us. Bean's vision, to which we remain true, is best expressed as inscribed in the entrance to the memorial's galleries. Here is their spirit, in the heart of the land they loved, and here we guard the record which they themselves made. Tonight, we will read the story behind just one of those on the Roll of Honour, which lists the names of more than 102,000 men and women who have given their lives for us in war and operations for more than a century. But first we present a lament, Flowers of the Forest. Wreaths or floral tributes will now be laid at the base of the Pool of Reflection.
Today we remember and pay tribute to Private James May. James Henry May was born on the 19th of June 1885 in Fitzroy, Victoria, to William and Ellen May. The May family moved to Port Augusta in South Australia in the years after James' birth. He grew up in Port Augusta and attended Port Augusta State School. James May married Agnes Mary Haggett on the 1st of June 1908 in Solomon Town near Port Pirie. A son, James William Stanley May, was born the same year. May was working as a labourer on Nonning Station, west of Port Augusta, when the First World War began. He enlisted on the 14th of December 1914 at Oaklands, and after initial training was allotted to the 3rd Reinforcements to the 12th Battalion. He embarked with other reinforcements from Adelaide on the 15th of February 1915 aboard the transport ship Itonis, bound for Egypt. His stay in Egypt was brief, however, as the 12th Battalion had already sailed to Lemnos in preparation for the Gallipoli campaign. He was taken on strength to the battalion in early April. As part of the 3rd Brigade, the 12th Battalion was in the first wave ashore at Gallipoli in the pre-dawn hours of the 25th of April. In the ensuing days, the battalion was involved in establishing and defending the Anzac front line. The 12th Battalion, along with the other battalions in the 3rd Brigade, held the southern end of the line over the following months, until the Allies sought to break the stalemate at Gallipoli by launching the August Offensive. Beginning on the 6th of August, the 1st and 2nd Brigades captured the ground at Lone Pine and held on to their gains grimly. As part of the offensive, all 4 companies of the 12th Battalion were involved in consolidating and defending the hard-won gains. On the 7th of August, May was wounded in his left leg, which caused a compound fracture, and he was evacuated to an Australian stationary hospital at Lemnos. On the 26th of August, May's condition deteriorated, and the decision was made to amputate his left leg. He did not recover, and later that day he died. He was laid to rest that afternoon at the Portainus Military Cemetery. He was 30 years old. May's name is listed on the Roll of Honour to your left, among more than 60,000 Australians who died while serving in the First World War. This is but one of many stories of courage and sacrifice told here at the Australian War Memorial. We now remember Private James Henry May, who gave his life for us, for our freedoms, and in the hope of a better world.
Please stand for the reading of the Ode and the sounding of the last post.
They shall grow not old, as we who are left grow old. Age will not weary them, nor the years condemn. At the going down of the sun and in the morning, we will remember them. lest we forget.
Lest we forget. We leave you this evening with the words of the memorial's founder, Charles Bean. Many a man lying out there at Pozières or in the low scrub of Gallipoli, with his poor, tired senses barely working through the fever of his brain, has thought in his last moments, well, it's over. But in Australia, they will be proud of this. Ladies and gentlemen, girls and boys, that concludes the last post ceremony. We'd like to thank you for visiting the Australian War Memorial. Wish you all a very good evening. Thank you.